A whole new world.
Disney and Hollywood have screwed us all over. They punked you. They give us a picture-perfect representation of how a relationship should be. And that representation starts from early ages, growing up, being a child, being very impressionable and goodwill, seeing everything from a positive perspective. An idea that there's a match made in heaven written for all of us. A typical boy meets girl scenario. That picture makes more damage than good. And let me tell you why. Somehow the relationships seem never hold. Divorce rates shooting through the roof. Are we incapable working on our relationships in this day and age? Why is that so difficult to keep a person around? Have we all lost a sense of how a relationship should be? There is another option. Maybe, just maybe, there's a slight possibility for us having several good matches. No one can predict a length of a relationship, but what we can do is to understand how we function with each other. All these representations, from Beauty and the Beast, from The Notebook, focus on the first phases of meeting someone. The infatuation. Oh, I like this person. Oh, this person is so beautiful. He seems so gentle and sweet. She seems so nice and smart. They never depict what happens afterwards. When you have gotten together and lived for several weeks, months, and even years. They are focused on emotions only. But relationships are not about emotions. They are about a teamwork. Yes, emotions make a good part of it, but not the core. Never make a permanent decision based on temporary emotions. Before going any further, let's establish what lies behind the myth of finding the perfect one, Mr. and Mrs. Right. The main root to these stereotypes, a fantasy. Fear of not finding someone who could like you for who you are, that there's always someone who could appreciate your personality just as it is. Fear of not being good enough, to a degree that there only could be just this one person who could tolerate your ass, no matter what, through thick and thin, through high and low, because you're insecure in yourself, because you have low self-esteem, because you don't believe that you have value enough to be appreciated for all your flaws and strengths. A fear of missing out on that magical love that everyone talks about. And what does it do to you? It puts a lot of power to a person's hand that you will eventually meet, putting that person on a pedestal, adoring that person like a god, becoming a servant. And no one likes a servant and master relationship, at least genuinely. Deep down, all people want a partner on a somehow similar level. This fantasy of the one results in anxiety of performance, aging, missing out, feeling you have to do everything possible in order to prove yourself to that person, feeling anxious about getting old and not finding anyone who could be your perfect match, longing and missing out on that magical love that everyone wants. That fear paralyzes you. Instead of going out and mingling with people, you become numb and get into a vicious circle of not taking action. This unhealthy attitude comes from a skewed perception of the reality. A total misunderstanding of what motivates people, what drives them. Because ultimately we are put in this world from biological perspective to procreate. And love is just a mechanism to maximize the effectiveness of this process. There are many people who could be a potential match for you because of the similarities. You liking similar hobbies, having same interests, taste in music, career ambitions, goals, same values for life. Like attracts like in that matter, from a social perspective. As long as values are the same, the relationship will keep flourishing. The day something changes and you find yourself going separate ways up here, and mind being the body and body being the mind, you will go separate ways in the physical form as well. There's one exception though, one person who is the one for you and who will march along with you the whole life. That's right, yourself. Find love within and everything else will fall in place. If you want to know more about this topic, throw a comment and watch these videos. But for now, Hossein out. A whole new world.